All right. Woo! Thank you for joining the Talk of Life talk show with Elma. We have our other co-host, Linda. Hi. And we have my other co-host, Kimberly. And then we have our special guest tonight, Foy Munlin.
Yes.
Senior.
Yes.
I'm trying to get that name right.
Yes. French name.
Because
like
everybody
toy.
mess up my name.
Yeah,
When they say
yeah.
Elma, it's Elmer, Thelma, Elma. Only I accept that on checks.
Yeah.
Other than that, I want my name as Elma, E-L-M-A.
Yeah.
So I don't want to mess up your name.
I understand.
So just say it.
My name is Foy Munlin. Just like you would say Toy or Roy, Foy. F-O-Y.
Just put an F in front of
There
it.
you
That's
go.
all right.
There you go.
F-O-Y.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
Yeah.
And they kept asking you, how did you get that name?
Well, my mother gave it to me, but my dad's name was Foy as well, and she really didn't know where it came from. But as somewhere in my 40s, I found out it was French. So, and
I asked you, did you speak it in French? And what did you say?
yeah, comment allez-vous?
And what is that?
How are you?
Okay, did y'all hear that? So that's all I'm gonna learn tonight. Come on, allez-vous. Come on, allez-vous. Linda, how are you? Okay. So we're in for a treat tonight. We also have another guest. Would you give your name, please?
John Crosby.
All right. So we're going to talk about the protests and what's going on. And before we get started, this is a Christian-based talk show, but anyone can come on the show, just as long as you're not trying to change my religion or anything. That will not happen. Because I am sold to Jesus Christ, but I don't mind you coming on the show, okay? We always like to start with a scripture, which is one of my favorite, Philippians 1:6. Whatever God has started in you, he will finish it. Now, that's my little thing, but go and read Philippians 1:6, but that's what it means to me. Okay, so tonight we're going to do another segment on the protest that's going on with George Floyd, and we're going to talk about different incidents that have happened to other people. And we just want to get some different points of view of what's going on and what's happening out there. So Pastor Mullen is going to be our guest tonight. And we're going to just talk. And if you have any, what did I do? Did I say it wrong again?
Just call me Foy. I'm good. Yeah.
I'm going to just call him Pastor. I'm just going to do it like that.
Just call me Foy.
You know, I'll just call you Pastor.
Yeah.
Come on, tell him.
Just call me what my mama called me.
Boy, get in his house.
I like that. Okay, so Foy.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I know you are pastor of, what's the name of your church?
Shepherd's Voice.
Shepherd Voice. How did you get that name?
I got it from John the 10th chapter.
Okay, tell me a little about John 10.
Well, you know,
maybe I don't know the Bible, even though I'm a co-pastor.
You know,
Help me out.
John 10 talks about my sheep know my voice.
Woo, bad.
And a stranger they will not follow.
Bad.
So, as I began to read that chapter one day, the Lord dropped that in my spirit.
Okay.
That's
And
good.
said, this will be the name of the next church you pastor. So I held it. And so in what is it, 2010?
That's when you started the Shepherd
That's when I
Voice?
started this one.
That's when we started the church within 2010 June.
Wow.
The first Sunday in June
So
we started in our house.
why you copy off of me?
I don't know. I think you copied off of me.
Ask what
Come on,
month.
tell him
I see.
Asking what month.
what month did you start to?
March.
March, they
Oh,
all
okay.
said
Well,
March.
okay, then we copied off you.
They all said March.
Come on, tell him
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you started March 22, and then we started in June 2010.
Yes.
Did you start in your house, or where did you start?
We started in a hotel, actually, in Cedar Hill.
Big time hotel.
And,
big time. I started in the house.
Yeah. Well, you know, either way, it works.
But that's good. So Shepherd Voice Church, and where are you all located?
We're still in Cedar Hill, and as a matter of fact, right now we still have been doing our church on the Zoom Zoom app. Hopefully in July we'll be able to get back because we're still doing a service in a hotel in Cedar Hill.
Okay.
Wow.
So the hotels are a little bit slower.
Yeah.
You know,
up,
and yet opening up or whatever. So we thought after talking with them, speaking with them, we would look at getting started in July.
Yeah.
Pastor, I'm finding that on Zoom, y'all don't preach as long.
That's true.
I kind of want to stay zoomed in. Y'all go quick on Zoom.
Well, I try to stay within 40, 45 minutes anyway. So,
Like, man, service goes so quick when they're in Zoom.
yeah.
Zoom land.
That's it. They call it Zoom. Zoom on out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we opened back up, I think, with June. Or was it night? We opened up right after they said we could do it.
We could open.
Because that's social distancing. We have members already with social distancing. So we went on in social distancing right here. We meet here. So it didn't matter with us because they were social distancing before the social distancing came out. But God still provides. So,
Right.
we would all open up anyway. We meet here at the American Legion Hall right now. We're still looking for our church, but we're celebrating 10 years. And on that note, we do have masks that my son in the back, Emmanuel, made these masks, and he can make them for Shepherd Voice too as well.
Oh, really?
And they're real nice, durable masks. And since people gonna be wearing masks, you might publicize.
Represent, yeah.
Yeah, so he's doing that as part of our building fund.
Okay.
And they're only $10, but he can't customize them for anybody, So just zoom in on me. And we'll zoom you a mask, okay? All right. So it's good. And I noticed you have some of your members here with you. Praise God for that. And I was looking at just some of your electronic engineering or what?
I
was just going on your Facebook.
I went
now.
to school for that, but
Okay.
I didn't finish.
Okay.
I decided to join the Marine Corps.
Okay, so are you a Marine?
I am.
Well, let me stand up. I'm going to salute the Marine.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
I'm gonna salute
Semper Fi to all my Marines out there.
Yeah.
All right, Marine. And you know
Yeah.
what's so funny? My director is a Marine, so that's good too. All right, so we have a Marine up here. We thank you for your service, but you just don't look like a Marine.
I really?
No, I don't even know what a Marine look like. So
Well,
You don't look like one.
Well, see,
You
that's-
don't look like a Marine.
Well, see, that's
I'm
a long
just
time
messing
ago.
with you, but it's
My boy's
good
in
that
the
you are.
Navy.
But they said Marine is the toughest one out there. So,
Well, I think so.
oh, you think so? Well, he said, I think so. So I feel sorry for the Army and Navy. Y'all.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have a Marine, but I did hear the Marines are the toughest one, So, and then being a pastor, you probably tough too.
Yeah. That all of it flows together.
Oh,
as you
Lord.
know,
Oh, Lord.
you got to have
you
thick
can't
skin.
be no Marine and a pastor now, man.
Yeah.
You got to be humble.
Yeah, I am.
But you don't
humble.
make them salute you every Sunday, do you?
I was only proud when I was in the Marine Corps. I'm,
what
the
did you
few,
got?
the proud, the Marine. I'm humble now.
Oh, okay. You humble. What else? Go behind it.
What else
Oh,
go
I'm just
behind?
messing
What, I don't know.
I don't know.
What else do you think goes behind it? I don't know.
But anyway, Ohio State University. Are you from Ohio?
I am. Born and raised,
How
Dayton,
you get
Ohio.
down in Texas?
I don't know. 36 years ago, I just believed this was the place that I was supposed to be, and packed up, loaded
just
up the
moved
truck,
down
and
here.
moved to Beverly, so to speak.
Wow. Wow. Texas is so big. People just bring everything.
Yeah, 1984.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. That's awesome.
36 years.
Gosh, that is awesome. Okay, so now we want to talk about, after we done got all in, I'm going to have to bring him back so we can just talk about this Marine guy out there. But
Yes,
tonight-
get in his business. We had to
yeah,
get
we're going to get in
on
his
another
business
one.
later on. But since we're talking about the protests and what's going on, this is much needed because we're seeing all these protesters out here. They're all over, not only in the United States, they're all over the country.
Yes.
Protesting over the way the, George Floyd died.
Yes.
I can't breathe and
Yes.
all of this. So let's talk about that. What is going on? Because we've had more than just George to die,
Right.
by the police department.
Yes.
But what makes this so different? What do you think makes it so different with George?
I just think it was a moment in time, a point in time where it was like the match that lit the fire, so to
Okay.
speak.
Okay.
These things have been happening for years.
Right,
Okay?
Right.
And of course, we as Black people have been talking about it for years.
For years.
But nobody's listening. Nobody was listening.
Nobody
good.
opening the door when we knock.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so when this particular situation, murder, happened, the whole world saw it.
Right.
Yeah.
And social media has a lot to do with that.
Yes.
I mean, all before, when I was growing up, these things happened and nobody knew about it.
Right.
Yeah.
If we would say something, you probably did something, you lied.
You caused it to
you
happen.
caused it.
We put it on us.
because the police will go and lie, and they're not gonna believe us
Oh,
over
yeah.
the
Right.
police.
That's
And-
right.
And so, but now with camera and video,
Thank you.
you can't lie no
Can't
more.
lie. They can't go in there. Well, I ain't gonna say can't, but
Yeah.
you actually see
You
him
actually
there,
see.
and you seeing him. But he
can I
looks so
say,
comfortable though on the man's neck. He just looked like he was just.
There's a post that he has that you posted from Will Smith that says racism isn't getting worse, it's getting filmed.
Yes.
I saw that you had posted that on
Yes.
Facebook.
Okay, so what about that?
Well, that's just what I was talking about. That now everybody has a camera in their hand. now.
Right.
Everybody.
They just get that phone and they just.
Oh yeah.
And that exposes you.
Yes.
You can't just do anything
Thing.
now and not think that somebody's going to see it
Right.
because somebody recorded that whole incident.
Yes.
And I was
Yes.
glad that they
Perfect
did
timing.
because they would have said, well, y'all you didn't see what happened before that. And no. We saw the whole
thing was on TV.
and the man wasn't fighting. You had the man in handcuffs and then you go put your knee on his neck. And see, I believe the reason why he looked so comfortable,
Yeah, why?
the guy he already had 18 marks against him on his
Are you
record. The police
serious?
officer, 18.
Wow.
So he was used to getting away with it.
But this time they filmed him and the whole world, the whole
So
country.
just watching his demeanor and his posture.
Right. Yes.
It was like
In my mind, I was thinking, okay, surely he's playing. Surely he's not serious. Surely he's going to move his knee. But when he put his hand in his pocket and he just rested
Yes.
there
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
though
I don't care.
nobody's going to say anything to me.
Yes.
And I was surprised that
Yes.
now I didn't see the other two guys on the side, but then you
I
had
didn't
the
even notice those.
was he Asian? The other gentleman.
Yes, one of them was. Huh?
One
It was
was
almost
black,
like they
one
were
was
in
the one
cahoots
standing
together, that they had
street style.
already
Yeah.
planned
Yeah.
to treat people this way because he stood his ground like a pit bull. I'm going to guard him and you're not going to touch him.
Touch him.
I mean, he
Yes.
wasn't going to move.
Yes. Well, see this is the problem. This is one of the big problems in this type of situation. You hear people all the time talk about good police officers. Well, there are a lot of good police officers out there, and there are a lot of good police officers
There
out
are.
there.
Yeah.
But this is my deal. If you're going to stand by and watch,
Come on.
a good police officer is going to stand by and watch another bad police officer do something.
And not
How good really are you?
Come on. That's a
Oh,
good question.
yeah, that's a
That's
good
a good
question.
question.
And this is
Yes.
part of what has been going on. Yes, the good officers a lot of times are standing right there. Now, a citizen can't do anything because if a citizen tries to stop that police,
might get killed
no, they're
too.
gonna get
They're
killed.
gonna get shot.
Okay, because you're interfering
with
police business.
That's right.
So the only people or persons who can stop a situation
Yes,
like
well,
that is another
another
police officer.
Another
That's right.
police
So this is why I'm really glad to see in this situation that the other 3 police officers who were
Involved with
they
it.
got arrested too, because this will break some of that up.
Come on.
If all of these watchers, these police
Will start
officers
come on.
who will start telling, and I get it that okay, they're afraid. If we tell, then
snitch
then
or-
then when
Uh-huh.
we need help, see, this is what happens.
Come
when we
on.
need help and we call for the other police officers, they'll
They
take
might
their
not.
time
They'll back
getting
up.
there.
Ooh,
They don't get no
yeah.
backup or whatever. See, this has to change.
Yes.
Pastor
Yes.
Ford, do you think that the man with his hand in his pocket, he was their supervisor? Or do
Yes,
you,
he was.
I don't
He
know.
was?
I wasn't.
Okay.
I'm not
He was
sure about that.
supervisor. He was the training.
no?
He wasn't he
Somebody-
the
did you want-
training?
You want to step to the mic so we can hear you? You want to come to the mic so we can? Oh, okay. How did you know that he was? How could you tell? Oh, okay.
Okay, no stripes on the shirt.
We just want the audience to hear you.
Yeah.
Can you come to the mic?
Yeah.
So are you talking about the one that was on
the
his
man?
neck?
What's his name?
The one that was on his neck?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know if he was like the leader
Was
or the
he-
supervisor.
No, Officer Chauvin was not a supervisor.
Okay.
He possibly was a senior officer
Oh, okay.
as far as tenure, but he was not his sergeant or in any position of supervision.
But on the news, they said that he were the two young ones because one of them had just started. They said that he was the trainer for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So that's why.
He was a trainer.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
You know,
He
like
was just training
Okay, say
them.
like you have you a sergeant or or lieutenant.
Right.
Okay, you're gonna have somebody when you first start off. You got to go with the one that has the most senior
Experience.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have
So
a training
he was-
officer.
Now, this is what the news said. He was the senior, and that's why they asked him, shouldn't we turn him over on his stomach? And he said no. So they was following his lead.
Oh, okay. But he wasn't a supervisor
He
or
wasn't
some
supervisor,
right. He was just a
supervisor.
trainer.
But he was
Yeah.
on the street, so he was considered their supervisor because he had more
he-
years than the
Or
other one.
something.
Yes.
But he just didn't have the stripes. I didn't know if he was that.
Oh, well, that's neat. So you can tell by the
By the uniform.
Right.
Yes, I didn't
Right.
even think
Okay.
about that.
And
Yeah.
I think 2 stripes is corporal.
Corporal.
Right.
3 is a
And
sergeant.
3 is a sergeant. And
So he wasn't in that category at all. Okay.
And the reason why he puts his hand in his pocket is not just for him resting in there.
Put the mic closer.
The reason why he puts his hand in the pocket is not just because he's resting, but he can apply more pressure to the position. It's so. And the thing that I noticed the thing that bothered me the most was that he was so defiant when they said, "We're filming you." He didn't care.
He
about
didn't
this.
care,
There was
right.
like a nonchalant. Film me.
Yeah.
I don't care. This man's life doesn't mean anything to
Yeah,
you.
it did
So
look
I
that
think
way.
that's what not just affected the United States. If you go to if you watch soccer games around the world, they're kneeling because of this. It's taking a stance. They're marching in Jamaica. You know, my wife's from Jamaica. They're marching in Jamaica. They're marching all over the world about
Right.
this. So this is like Pastor said, this is affecting
it's affecting.
the psychology of what people think because it's always happened. But no one really believed it. And no one believed the police officer were that defiant about it.
Right.
Yes.
And I think that's what woke
Yeah, I thought
everybody
he
up.
was
But you know,
demonic.
it's so funny because I was looking at some of the comments that people was making. You wouldn't think that racism is still in 2020.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
they was talking about the guy Amazon on there because he was supporting, you know, it's a lot of companies are supporting Black Lives Matter.
Right.
But this guy on there, I mean, called this man out of his name and everything. You wouldn't even think that racism is still going on
Yeah.
in today's society with, I mean, that's back then.
Yeah, yeah. Well, see, the people from back then are the ones that are teaching it to them.
Right.
Okay.
That's it.
And so they're teaching it to them, and so now they're growing up with the same hatred, you know, for absolutely no reason,
No reason
at all.
Yes.
And so it just, this thing is continuing to be perpetrated on Black people, especially all
Yes.
people of minorities, but
Especially.
Black people in this country, especially. We're always profiled. And this
Stop
is
for no reason.
stop
Just
for
random.
stop for no reason. I mean, I've been stopped for no reason in Plano one day. I was at this years ago, you know,
Did you say, come on, tell it, boo?
doing ride sharing and
Just ride sharing, it got stopped.
This police, I had just picked up a guy from a restaurant, and at the time I had a Chrysler 300, and I turned out of a parking lot, out of a strip center parking lot, turned, and the officer stopped me, and I said, "So, you know, can you tell me what the reason is that you stopped me?" He said, "Well, you didn't turn completely in the right lane.
Oh, no.
when you came out of the parking lot." And I was like, "What?"
Really?
I'm like, there's nobody that I know in the world has been stopped for coming, and it was no
Yeah.
cars coming. It was, I just turned out, and I didn't turn completely in the far right lane when I came out. So that was his excuse.
Did he give you a ticket?
No, he didn't give me a ticket.
But he
he just
just
wanted to
stopped
check my driver's license to see
Just
if I
see.
had a warrant
warrant.
so he could
Yeah,
arrest me.
arrest you.
And
Yeah.
he did the same thing with the guy, the passenger. And the passenger,
Really?
the passenger was like, "What is he doing?" He
Your
asked
passenger sitting in the car and
in
he
the
asked
back
for
seat.
him.
He asked for his identification.
Wow.
The passenger happened to be from another country. He's from India.
Uh-huh.
He couldn't believe it. I said, see, and I told him, I said, see, this is what happens to black men when they're driving
Wow.
for no reason at all.
Or walking. Remember,
What happened with you?
well, and like I live in a
Mike, closer.
I live in a neighborhood. The houses are from $300,000 to $400,000, and not to say that to be bragging, but it's an affluent
No,
neighborhood.
that's good. I'm glad you're living in that.
And
That's a blessing.
and when I would walk, I noticed a couple of times when I would walk, there was a police officer that would just when I would stop, he would stop. I would go a little farther, he would go a little farther.
Was he in his car?
He was in his car.
And you walking?
And I was
cruiser.
walking. And this
Wow.
happened more than once. So then when he got to in front of my house, I asked this officer, can I help you? He goes, I don't know, I'm just checking. I says, well, you can come inside if you want, if you would like something to drink. But then my son, who was born with challenges, mental challenges, a little mildly retarded, he was wearing a hoodie. And we right.
Yeah,
Right.
And we're very friendly in our neighborhood. So we have white young men and girls wearing hoodies and all that.
Yeah.
No one stops them.
Nobody.
But when my son was there, they were like, they followed him and said, hey, does he live here? And I'm like, why do you ask if he lives here?
Yeah.
Now, my son's he has a little speech impediment. So if he gets nervous, he gets tongue tied. So I'm thinking, what would happen if he couldn't convey his
Oh
message?
my
Yes.
God. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
You know,
That's scary.
that's the dilemma
That's
of being
right.
a black man.
Yes.
Or being a black person, period. You know, what happens, my wife she posted on her Facebook, she goes, my husband goes walking every day and I'm concerned for him.
Yes.
And we have to acknowledge, there's a
That's
routine
right.
that we have to go when we walk. Hey, how you doing? Hey, my name is John. God bless you. There's
Right.
lingo that we have to
Yes.
say just to make sure that this person is not uncomfortable
Right.
of who I am.
Yeah.
You know, no other race, I believe, has to go through this.
Right.
But you know,
right.
the good thing about this I was sharing with Pastor was now when I'm walking, people are so guilty from what society
Right.
has done.
Come on. Yes.
Yeah.
They go, hey, how you doing?
That has been happening to
I have
me.
neighbors who I haven't
That has
talked to.
been happening.
I've been in this
I'm like,
neighborhood for
what?
7 years.
Yes.
And I have neighbors who have come
Speaking
across
Yeah,
who have come
everybody's
across
speaking.
the street. Hey, how you doing? God bless you. How's
Really?
everything going?
He's
I'm like,
shaking
dude,
your
I said,
hand.
you never talked to me before.
You know, I thought that was me. I have been working out, and where I go, and I was like, why are all these white people speaking to me now? It's like, hey, how you? Even before I get to them, it's like
Yeah.
a hey.
speaking.
Yes.
We're in a I have a valet company that we're partners with. And my guys who are black are making more money because out of guilt, because people are giving guilt money. They won't even tell.
take it.
They
I'll
won't even
take it.
guilt money.
They won't even tell.
money.
And it shows you that society knows it's wrong.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
That's
And
good.
they know they wrong.
And they know they're wrong. So therefore,
good.
they try to epitomize. Because when I put a post of the officers praying with the people, I get all my white friends commenting yes.
Yes.
But if I put that when Martin Luther King says, "I understand writing is the voice of the unheard," cricket, cricket, cricket. You understand what I'm talking
Wow.
about? Because they don't want to deal with they don't
Right.
want to deal with that
Right.
challenge right now.
Right. And you know, that is so sad because of the fact that they know it's wrong. And now it's like they're trying to make up. We went to see my sister-in-law the other day and yesterday, she's in the rehab. And the guy, when we got there, we only had 30 minutes, but they was changing her, right? And the guy he was scared. And I was sitting there reading my Sunday school lesson, and he was trying to get my attention. He said, ma'am, they're up there changing her, but your husband, he might not be able to see her, but I don't want him to get mad. And I'm like, get mad? And I guess because we were black, it scared him. And I don't want him to get mad. I say, sir, why would he get mad? Well, he might not be able to see her. I say, well, that's not a reason for him to get mad.
Right.
We understand that. We came in, and if they're changing her, we're glad that they're changing her, but that's no reason for us to get mad. Oh, I'm sorry. So I'm thinking, like you're saying, now that everybody is panicking now because they think we're going to explode because we're black, and it's not. That's not about that.
No,
it's not.
nothing
It's
about
not.
We don't want to be stereotyped and
Right.
saying that's because we're black, we're going to go out and protest. No, I'm not going to do the wrong protest and everything. We can do a good protest without being violent.
Exactly. I'm not trying to hurt nobody.
Right.
I'm not. That's not what we're
About.
You know.
Right.
Right.
You've got groups of people out there who who are acting like they're
Thank
a part
you.
of what we're doing, and,
And
they're
they're
not.
not.
They're not.
They're not. They're out there to get what they can get.
Exactly.
And all this stuff. But
Yeah.
it's not about that. It's about making a change.
Yes.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yes.
It's changes that we shouldn't even have racism.
That's right.
One reason why is because of the fact we have interracial marriages now.
Yes.
I mean, it's
Yes.
not just black on black now. You got all different kind of races are marrying.
Right.
And they're going through a lot of challenges because they're interracial marriage,
Yeah.
But being a Christian, we shouldn't even see race at all. I know everybody's not a Christian, but I don't really see race until it just makes you think. In 2020, we're still going through this.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see it. You can see it in churches.
Oh my.
Oh my God.
Come on,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
Not in church,
no,
Kimberly.
no.
Come
Oh
on now.
yes, you can.
can.
Not in church.
Yes, you
have to say-
can.
That's social distancing. Gosh, are you serious?
Yeah.
Tell me about it in church.
I take communion with you. I go to your church. Pastors.
Is this an interracial church or what?
Speaking of a church I went to
All of them
years ago.
interracial now.
No.
We have black,
Okay.
white, all in our
let
church.
me get my thought out. Let's get this thought out. I've been at this church. I was at this church for 10 years. We worship together. We sing songs
No.
together. I tithe. The pastors were white, and they're not mean people at all.
Right.
Okay.
Not at all. We sit next to each other. We pray together. I don't have any. I didn't have any white friend from that church. There was something wrong. I didn't make any friends of any other race other than my own. It's something wrong. We all love God. We're all fellowshipping together. I didn't go to dinner. You didn't invite me over to your house to eat with you. But when we come to church, we can worship. We can put our hands up together.
We can praise the
We
Lord.
tithe together.
Hallelujah.
But we haven't done anything outside those four walls together.
Right.
That's strange to me. I was there for 10 years.
Yeah.
I was talkative. Isn't that, to me, okay, now why? What makes me so different?
Well, I can give you an answer.
Oh, go ahead,
for that.
Pastor
Okay, come
Foy.
on,
I
give
just
us
asked the
an
question.
answer.
Go ahead, Pastor.
That has to be modeled from the top.
Gotcha.
See, a congregation will only do
That's
what
good.
that pastor is modeling.
Come
That's
on.
good.
Not
okay.
only what he's saying or she's saying. It's what they model.
Right.
Gotcha.
See, it's kind of like I'm kind of getting off maybe a little.
No,
but,
no,
go
but,
ahead.
But
You're
it's kind of like the reason why most men don't pray is because the pastor doesn't model it.
Gotcha.
He sends his wife to the prayer meeting. So now you got mostly women who pray.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And the men are intimidated by prayer now because they don't really see a man operate in intercession or prayer or whatever, except when the
Gotcha.
pastor maybe stands up on Sunday morning and do a short prayer or whatever. So that's why when you have prayer meetings, it's mostly women because the
Gotcha.
pastor, if he's a male, he doesn't really come to the prayer meeting.
Yes.
That's good.
Do you come
Well,
to your
the-
prayer meeting?
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, my prayer leader was a man.
Good.
Was a man.
That's good.
I love that.
That's
He
good.
recently passed a month or so ago.
Yes, sir.
But that's good. I love that.
But we
because
were
I
just
always
talking
wondered
about that earlier.
Yeah.
We was
Why
talking
is it
about
that we don't intermix? We can do everything within that building, but outside of that building.
Yeah, it has to be a model. It's
That's
the
right.
three pillars of the church, according to Acts, the 2nd chapter, and they continue steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine, which is teaching,
That's good.
in prayer. Number
That's
2,
right.
and the third pillar is hospitality, which nobody talks about.
Oh, that's good.
Hospitality
No, I
is the
heard that.
third pillar of the church, and so people,
That's
it's like
good.
nobody can go to the pastor's house because
Why?
and so what I've endeavored to do at our church is to model hospitality.
Yes.
That is,
good.
they ate each other's food with simplicity of heart from house to house.
Right.
Matter
I
of
like
fact, we did
that.
it
That's what the
Sunday.
book of Acts. That's what the church in the book of Acts was based upon:
Right.
teaching, prayer,
Thank
and
you.
hospitality.
That's good.
And that has to be modeled, or the congregation will not do it.
That's good.
Well, we a good model of that because I can't stop them from coming to my house.
Me too.
But that's good. That's good to know.
I'm serious. But
Of course, I don't have a house
enjoy it
anymore,
though.
but,
I enjoy it. I love
that's
people.
good.
So they could come to my house and we sit there and laugh. We play football because
See?
I'm a
There you
football
go.
Dallas Cowboy fan.
There you go. Me too.
And I
Yeah.
sit there, we eat and we cook and we love to eat here, so
Yeah.
that's not a problem.
Because
with
I always
us.
wondered
And-
that. So that's clarity there. And
But
this
I
was
like
years
that.
ago when I was younger.
Sure.
And I could
Yeah.
just never understand why
You have
we
to get
didn't
to
do
know each
even if
other.
you talk, or I would give them my number.
Yes.
It was never reciprocated back.
Yes.
So that's good to know. That's good
Yeah,
to know.
and it's good to fellowship with one another.
Sure.
It's good because you get to know each other. We're supposed to be family anyway.
Yes.
You're supposed to be family, right?
Yes.
So it's no race or no color in there. So you should
Yes.
be able to family. We just went to our white sister and brother home yesterday. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. No, it was Sunday. What's the day? Monday. It was Sunday. See, I tell you, I'm working from home. I'm getting my days
I
mixed up.
know.
And we drove all the way to a place. I'm like Star Trek. I ain't never been before. Godly, Texas. And we drove all the way down there. And I'm there, Lord, where are we? Did
Yeah.
see not one.
Yeah.
We was on that. But hey, we had a good time, man, with our white sister brother.
Wonderful.
That's
I walked
good.
in like I own the house. Everywhere I go, I own it. So
Wonderful.
they just gave me the key and said, hey, and I went in there, ate and sat down and watched football, and they hated when I left. But that's how it should be.
Amen.
Yes.
But we don't have that. I like how you brought that out, the hospitality. You need to get to
That's
know
really
your surroundings.
good.
Right.
Yeah.
Who
That's really
you
good.
who are you fellowshipping with,
Yeah.
So you walking
Yes, ma'am.
in this neighborhood, and that's what happened to the guy, the one, what was the boy that got shot, the young
Oh,
man that got
yeah.
shot.
Yes,
He's
ma'am.
just jogging, and they end up losing his life. My son
he
was
went
just
in this-
walking from the Albertsons, and he got pulled over, thrown down on there. He's on the show tonight, but they scared him to death. He's a young black man, and he got accused just because he had on an orange shirt and black shorts. And this woman said that this black man had robbed her or whatever, and he had on orange shirt and black pants. He had on shorts, but he was still thrown down by the policeman. This Hispanic policeman came up and asked him what was they doing. And that's the only reason that stopped them. They said, give me your license, and we're going to check, and I guarantee you, we're going to find something on you.
Yeah. That's how.
And that's what they did him.
That's how
And when they ran it, he said, if I don't find nothing on you, I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to come back and tell you I'm sorry. But he never did.
Yeah.
But God spoke to him and told him, do not say that you did that. You stand up and you said, no, that
That's
was
right.
not you. And he kept saying that. When the Hispanic cop came up, he asked him, what was they doing? And when they ran him with nothing on him.
Mm-hmm.
And they had him down on this hard rock, concrete rock. And it's hot.
Yeah.
And his face, he was just sitting there. Then they put the handcuffs on, and he was just an innocent bystander. Just because the woman said he had on an orange shirt and black shorts, and she said the man had an orange shirt and black pants. So we can always. It's scary because here you are with black young men, and you're scared to let them go out
Yes.
because they could get killed. You walking in your neighborhood.
Well, it's even worse. My sister put up an Instagram post on, and there's a man saying, when I go walking, I take my little girl with me.
Oh wow!
And he says the reason why I take my little girl, because when they see me, they see a father.
Thank
and isn't
you.
it amazing now? What's
Wow.
really deep about this statement is this. The daughter has become protection for the father instead of the father the protection for the daughter.
Wow.
Look at that.
That
Yeah.
is the society
Wow.
that we have to live in.
Yeah.
When Pastor, we fellowship at our house yesterday. Pastor, we had the men over, and
Wow.
when we talk about it, there are certain things that we are trained even when we're to stop. Automatic hands on the steering wheel,
Yes.
hands outside. None of my
Yes.
white friends have to go through that procedure right there.
Right.
We have to
Right,
ingrain
right.
that. That's part of the driving motor vehicle
Yes,
skills that we
yes.
have to do automatic just because of the color that we are.
Trying to survive.
Just
Trying
to survive.
because you. And I think you said your son got put on because he was driving with a hoodie on.
The police officer said that he looked suspicious driving with his hoodie on. So that's why he pulled him
That's
over.
crazy.
Suspicious driving with his hoodie.
A hoodie on.
Unbelievable.
And we're the only one that looks suspicious with hoodies. That's the thing I
Right.
find amazing.
And it was between,
Unbelievable.
in the cold months. It wasn't even in the hot. It wasn't like it was summertime.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
And I was like, wow.
Did you all want to share anything? Come on.
Oh, yeah, because I hear
Come
he
on
ready.
up.
He
You can
ready.
take
Get
this
your mic.
seat right
Get your
here.
mic. He is ready.
Okay.
Sure.
Go ahead.
The question I have is how America will react when they see an officer putting their knee on a dog's neck on live until the dog is died. How America will be react? Should there will be divided to protest, or they should be united to protest?
I get what you're saying. He's saying,
Yes.
okay,
Yes,
if it had
good.
been an animal, a dog, and somebody would have had their knee on a live dog's neck until he died, America would have went crazy.
The same day.
White America would have went crazy
The reason-
over
You're
that
right.
dog.
That
Well,
dog.
you saw it with the
The
New York
reason-
incident when she was making that false report on that bird watcher. Remember?
Oh,
and she was
yeah.
grabbing the dog.
Yeah.
People instead of saying
They sure
this
did.
woman was doing a falsified report, what she should have been arrested for.
Yes.
They were complaining about
her-
look how she's treating that dog.
She's strangling the dog.
So that speaks
Yes.
to how America would respond. Don't you agree?
I
Yeah.
agree.
Over
I
man.
agree.
The reason I'm asking how America will react, because we're seeing a black man that loses his life.
Yes.
Look like the country is divided. He make
Yes.
it look like a black and white war divided.
Yes.
But an animal, they will all united
Yes.
to protest.
Yes.
But what happened, even people see that on live, they're still trying to just find a reason.
Yes.
I see people still say George Floyd is not a saint.
Yes.
They try to bring his record
That,
to come against with a dead person.
Yes.
right.
But we know not every dead people are saint.
Yeah. They're not all saints. That's
Yeah.
right.
Right.
How America will react?
Yes.
That's my question.
That's a good question.
Yes.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
That was good.
Wow.
Anyone else in the audience? Don't be shy.
That is something to think about.
Yeah.
We care more about a dog
They
than
were
we
more
do
concerned about
our
the dog
own
than the man-
black
that black
race.
man.
The black
Right.
man, that's sad.
And this is, I've got a couple of pet peeves where this is concerned. When I hear people say, well, we're all the same race. Well, okay, wait a minute. If you see us as all the same race, then why you treat us that way?
Oops. That's Emma.
I almost had to let that out when you said that. That's a good question.
you see that?
If we're all
you're
right.
I see
Oh,
that all on
that's
Facebook,
good.
on social
That's-
media. It's just one race. But what if it's just
That's
one
good.
race?
You're
Oh,
right.
that's
Well, why are you
good.
not pulling everybody over?
And the next
Why-
question,
go ahead.
Question
Go
I
ahead,
wanna,
go
the
ahead,
next
go
question
ahead.
I would like to ask somebody who says that, if you had the opportunity to be born black in the same year that you were born, would you want to be born black? Because we are the same race now.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. All right, then, Linda, come
that
on back
means
up
you
here.
wouldn't mind
Being
being
black.
born black.
But then
in
you
whatever year-
But then you got some want to tan themselves. Come on, they want to act like they want to be
They want
black,
the hips.
but they don't want to take on the black race, right?
Yeah.
We get out there, we want to be tan.
Yeah.
I want to be Joe Collar and all this here stuff. But then when it come down to the other thing, no, I don't want to be black.
And another pet peeve of mine is when I hear this is church folk. I don't see no color. You lying. What? You lying.
That's right. You don't see no color.
How you not? Wait a minute. God don't want us to see color. That's a lie. If he didn't want us to see
Why
color,
would he make us
would have
different?
created us all the same color. Stop trying to avoid the fact that we are different.
Right.
We are different.
We are
And that's
different.
okay. Then we need to celebrate our differences.
Differences.
Try to understand our
Our
differences.
differences.
Don't try to act like we're not different,
We're different.
because we're different.
We're different.
And it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's okay. I mean,
okay.
I might not ever want to climb a mountain.
I don't want to climb.
I just want to look at it.
just wanna look
You
at
know
it.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
You know, I mean,
That's
and
not
I'm
me.
and I know I'm kind of stereotyping a little bit,
No,
but I mean,
no.
you don't find black folks that want to climb Mount Everest. They look at them and like, oh, I'm not going up there.
There's no interest.
Okay,
I'm scared of heights.
You know, and I tease Edward all the time. He's white brother belongs to my church. I'm like, y'all look at him out and say, oh, I wonder what's up there. We don't care.
I don't care what's up there. I don't care what's up
Nope,
there.
we don't care about the mom. We
And
trying to
it's
get
not
out the
even that you
valley.
care. It's not an interest. That's our differences.
We're different.
We're just
And
different.
pastors are a multicultural church. I would literally say 30% of our church is multicultural.
Yeah.
I mean, interracial. We have black, white, Indian. We have 5 different countries represented in there. I mean, so it's not like he's coming from a narrow perspective.
Yeah.
He believes in celebrating everyone's culture.
Absolutely.
And celebrating everybody's race.
Yeah.
But what everybody does is when they talk about George Floyd, they try to bring down his personal life. It's not even about George Floyd.
Right.
It's about what black men and women go through
Right.
on a daily basis,
Yes.
and how we have to not try to live in fear just to go to work,
Right.
walk to the store, and do these other things.
Yeah.
And that's what
Or
I think
just
was
traveling, period.
Yeah.
just traveling.
Just to
period.
be able to go on vacation without being stereotype of our. You know, I just tell them I'm all races.
Right,
shoot.
right.
They ask me what race, I check them out. They said, you are? I said, yeah, I got a little bit of everything in me.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
your song say I'm every woman. So
That's
I
right.
guess that-
Exactly.
I just changed my wig to match whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but we take stuff out of context. Go ahead, baby.
The other thing I want to add from West Africa, Burkina Faso, coming from there. As an African American here, the name is already messed up before we even get here. Because back home, on TV, what they teaches us, all black people in America are bad.
Wow.
The gang, like if you look at in my country, most of us, whenever we come here, we are scared of black people because the way they show it to us
Right.
on TV,
Wow.
the way they show it to us, the gang, every bad thing come from black people. The name is already messed up before even we get here. Whenever we come here, we seen an African American here a little bit different, and we're a little bit scared to approach them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it is say like that had to change. Thank God for social media.
Yes.
Now are opening people's eyes.
That's
And whenever I
good.
come here, I really ask, oh my goodness, there are really some good black people.
Yeah.
Yes, we're
I
good.
just want to say that is back home out there teaches us.
Yes.
And whenever something shown to all the time in your face, you look at, black, gangs, they never mention anything about Caucasian, but it's only black things.
So you only heard about the black people being
bad
bad.
things about black people.
Black people before you even get here. So
You
when
already-
you hear the word African American,
We are,
you looking at what the Americans here.
they're already bad.
They are really bad. So
We don't
when you
even
all
want-
come over here, y'all don't even tell nobody y'all African. Or
We don't want to
anything.
deal with them. We try to make our accent so heavy that can make a difference.
Well, no, that's because
That's sad though.
you know,
isn't
when
it?
you go like
His
when I
daughter's
traveled
my
in
goddaughter,
China,
by the way.
and when I was in Hong Kong and certain they would play like the 80s and the 70s type of shows. So I'm in communist China. I'm not in Bangkok. I'm in really communist China, and they have their perception of a 1970s movie like Huggy Bear. So when
Really?
seriously. So it's really perpetuated, not just here in the United States. It's perpetuated throughout the country, throughout the world, really, on certain
Wow.
television stations.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you went to China.
Yeah, I went to China and the Philippines, yes, sir. And I was doing business over there, and when we would communicate with them, you could tell they were kind of standoffish because they're like, "This is not how I perceive them to be." And I'm going, "Well, how did you perceive us to be? This is who we are."
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is something.
Wow. Can you come back to the mic? I want to ask you a question.
Summer.
Yeah. So how did you feel when you actually saw some good black people?
Jesus in them. Actually, whenever they hire me, my first job actually is sitting right there. They have a one who hired me, even baptized me. And after I see them, actually, I'm like, oh my goodness, there's some really nice people,
Okay.
And because by interacting with them, now my mind started changing. Like I started changing, okay. And now I can even approach some other African American whenever I talk, I listen, and now realizing, no, not all of black people are bad.
Right.
How long ago was that when you came here?
Yeah.
I came here. It's been like 20 years now. It's in 2000.
20 years ago?
Yes, 20 years I've
Wow.
been here.
So now you see a different.
Oh, I see a huge difference, you know.
Amen.
And now with social media, it help a lot. They see a lot of talent about all those things happening. Now I'm literally teaching, like even my family back home. Whenever I talk to them, I just have to teach them.
You have
know.
to teach them now that
Now,
there's some good
yes.
black people.
How many
over
brothers and sisters you got?
All total, we are 81 children.
Did you say what?
here. Oh, I got a drink on that one. Hold on.
One father.
Did he say 81?
81, yes.
You said 8 and a 1.
8 and 1.
By your father.
And your mother?
No, just father.
No,
That's the father with different women, I guess.
different women, yes.
Oh,
But
okay.
this
We
one
know they can have multiple
I'm
wives.
like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got 14.
Wow,
14.
that is awesome.
What you say?
How many?
14,
Oh, he had 14 wives.
yes.
Are they all living?
Yes.
Is he still living?
No, my father passed away.
Oh, with 81 children, I can understand that. Woo! Lord have mercy. He heard that multiply. Woo! That's
good at
good.
math.
That's good.
I hope you didn't mind me saying that, bro.
No,
No, that's good.
Okay.
And his
That's
daughter,
awesome.
he protested.
y'all same
he
family?
protested with his little daughter when Fort Worth 3 days ago too.
So how many children do you have?
Me, I got 2.
You got
How many wives?
1.
But she had to laugh on that one.
Wait a minute. I got to ask my
You only
black
have one
son.
wife. But you are in America now, right?
Yes.
So it's just one wife.
no, one wife.
Any concubine? No, I'm just So how many do you have?
Wives?
Uh-huh.
Soon to be 0.
Oh, you're not married.
No, he-
He act like he don't want to get married.
no, he's
Marriage is honorable.
Yeah.
No,
No, I'm just playing.
He's on his
no,
way
he-
out
He's on. Yeah, they're on their way out. That's
On their way out where?
of a marriage.
Oh, really?
That's what he's trying to say.
That's why I said soon to be 0.
Oh.
We just put him on blast.
Oh, we just put him on blast.
It's okay. Actually, I feel more comfortable talking now because I have a comment to make if you don't mind.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And so my brother from another mother, blood cannot get us any closer. He mentioned what the propaganda has been when it comes to African Americans. And it's the same way that they do here for Africans too. They show all the negativity about Africa. They show everything that is wrong about Africa so that African Americans will not want to reconnect because dividing us, keeping us apart from one another, keeping us hating each other, will make sure that they have their supremacy on us. When I say they, I talk about evil. Now, don't make me quote Tupac, but when I say they, I talk about evil. I talk about those people who are, because what I believe, through the years that I've been blessed to live is that racism stems from ignorance and is fueled by fear. And once it's consummated, it brings upon anger and then rage, which is hatred. Because I don't know really, I don't want to know you. I don't know what you stand for. I don't know your identity. So therefore, I will fear you. And once I fear you, why do I feel that way? Emotions kick in and I start hating you. And because I hate you, I will act upon it.
Okay.
And that officer putting his hand, I have a martial art background. When he did that power push, he knew what he was doing. He wanted to inflict the maximum of pain.
Wow.
Okay? Because they trained. They train into close combat. It's part of the training. Our pastor was in the Marine Corps. He got that training. They actually have different systems that they merge together, different martial arts that they merge together into a system. The Marine Corps does have their own system, and if you get into special forces, you even get another system. From my background, I understand that. And when I see that image and I see him, people think he was resting, putting his hand in his pocket and pushing against that neck and taking his time to put pressure and breathing in and breathing out. He wants to inflict the maximum pain because he's enraged, because he's angry. And of course, he thinks that he can get away with it.
Right.
And so us as coming from the continent, when we come here, we're fearful of African Americans because of the bad propaganda, because it's done on purpose.
Yes.
Yes.
So that when we come here, the first thing I heard from an African American was, you sold us. And the first thing I said to him is like, you represent us badly by being lazy. If you're not an athlete, you're not a rapper, okay? You are not in the game, though you're a lazy bum, you don't do anything, because that's everything they portray into our society in different African countries, in different European countries. You know, I have brothers who live in France. That's what they've been seeing. And so when we come here, we're surprised to see that, no, but they're not all bad. In fact, and that's actually a minority, everybody else wants to do something. They don't talk about the creativity. They don't talk about the influence in the culture. They don't talk about even the inventions. The great inventors, black inventors, they don't talk about them.
Right.
They do not. They talk about other inventions that are not so great, but because they were made of people of a different skin complexion, I would say, they talk about them. They celebrate that, you know, and they go round and round talking about the same people, but they don't celebrate other people.
Right.
Okay.
I can see that.
And so my comment, my question, I know I've been long-winded,
you're fine.
is this. As a man, as somebody who has, you know, I want to thrive to do the best that I can. If you arrest me like they did your son, because I fit a description. It's not even a full description now. It's because I'm black.
Right.
Let's be real about it. And then you pin me against the hard ground and you hurt me.
Yes.
And after this is done, where do I go? Is the government, is the governing entity that is over the city, that's over the state, are they going to put in place something after they've quieted the crowds, after they've put
Right.
the gentleman, the officer in prison, and that situation is solved, is resolved? Are they going to put something in place so that if I've been wrong to that point, I'm going to work. I need to wear a shirt and a tie, but if I'm not going to work, you mess up my whole day. You hurt me in front of my children. Are they going to be accountable for that? Is there going to be a place where I can go to complain and I'm going to be heard and something is going to be done about it? Because the other guy didn't come back and say, I'm sorry. Well, now I don't want I'm sorry anymore. I'm sorry. I don't want I'm sorry anymore. I want something to be done so that that doesn't happen every day or every other day. That doesn't happen to me and my brother. And because back in the day, before social media, we used to talk about it. You know, you go to Sunday dinner with the whole family.
That's right.
You eat some soul food and you say, hey, by the way, cousin Ray Ray got pulled over and this is what happened to him. But now that it can happen in social media, people can film the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is the government going to respond and put in place
That's the
something?
question.
Yes.
That is my question.
Yeah, we need something.
That's
And
the
then let
thing
me
that
ask a
we
question.
need.
Pastor Foy, whoever would like to speak to this, is it just Black Americans that this is happening to, or when other cultures, like their culture, come to America, that they're pulled over and treated like this? Or is it just men that are in America that are
I think it
Black?
happens to us all who are black. Sometimes
color.
I think, and they can speak to this better than me, but I think their accent sometimes gets them out of being a target.
Remember Pastor Eric from India?
Come on, you can go to
Remember Eric from India got pulled over 21 times.
Yes.
On his way to Austin.
Yeah. We have a
You know,
guy from India in our church.
Oh, really?
And he was in
and from
pilot
Bolivia
school
as well.
He was from pilot school.
Yeah.
And he stopped. They were stopping him because someone had said something. He fitted a so-called subscript.
Whenever I come here,
Go ahead.
whenever I come here, like I got pulled over. In my country, whenever you get pulled over, you park your vehicle, you get out, you take your paper, you go give it to the cop. The cop doesn't come to you. Whenever I get pulled over, I open the car. Whenever I come out, it's just, stand up. You know, I'm like, what did I do? But that happened to me. Instant, thank God in the year 2000, 2001, it wasn't, nothing happened,
Praise
But
God.
it's yelled at me
Praise
to
God.
get back in my car. And he come up and now he realized whenever I spoke to him, he knew I wasn't from here.
Yeah.
He said, no, here. Whenever you get pulled over, you stay in your car.
Wow, I
we
didn't
come
know
to you.
that. Wow.
Back home, the cops doesn't come to you. You go to the cops.
Wow.
Yeah. Do we have time? How are we?
much
on?
more time?
Just a quick comment, and that's true. The accent kind of get us, and my accent changes according to my mood or the outside temperature. So, but The first times that I got pulled over, it was because of racial stereotype. That's it. I'm not gonna mention that neighborhood. I went to visit, somebody that I knew, but because I was going to that neighborhood, houses there at $500,000. Okay,
Right.
I knew the housekeeper. To be fair, so I went to that neighborhood, but the police officer saw me getting into that particular road, and automatically followed me around to see everything that I was doing. He stopped following me and then went on his business. When he saw me ringing the doorbell, the person coming, giving me a hug, and welcoming me into the house. And that was the owner of the house, because they knew me. And I went inside. Then he left. I saw him taking off. But another time I got pulled over, I started talking to them, and he asked me what I was doing here. What are you doing here? I said, is it forbidden for me to come here? Again, coming from another country, I ask questions because I don't know how it works here.
Right.
And so I asked him, he said, don't be smart. I just asked you, what are you doing here? I said, no. I just came to visit somebody. And when he heard me talk, the more I was talking, the more I realized this guy's not from here, and he let me go. But another time, it didn't work out. Although I have an accent, they still pulled me over. I was with friends that day. We were more than 3 people in the car, and it was a SUV. I had a Ford Bronco 2, my first car. Pulled us over, get everybody out of the car without telling us why. Made us sit on the hot concrete and start looking inside of the car. He says he could smell marijuana in my car. I said, no, nobody smokes. I don't even smoke cigarettes. So there's no marijuana. Officer, I promise you there's no marijuana in the car. It's just an old car. So he searched the car, didn't find anything, gave me my license back, gave everybody else their license back. One of us had a passport, and then that was in Watauga. I'm gonna say this, and then got us back in the car, and then we left.
Yeah.
And to this day, I don't know why he pulled me over.
You know why he pulled you over.
Well, yes, but I'm saying he didn't give me any reason.
driving.
I was using my turning signal to change lanes, just like I learned. Right. And when he flashed his light and he did the poop poop, I pulled over normally, and then he just got us all out of the car. So even though sometimes some officers let us go because of the accent, they realize, oh, he's not African American, and maybe I'm after African American. There's some officers that will go through the whole course and let us know that I'm in charge here. You know.
That's what I want to say. That happen, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, you had a question. Co-host, why are you out there?
Because I got too hot up there.
Oh, okay.
I was wondering how the gentleman right here felt, about all this going on.
Edward?
Yes, sir.
How much time do we have?
What is it?
Well,
Okay.
Though I'm white, I'm not white privilege. I refuse to be.
Okay.
And one of the things that I saw when I was in law enforcement, and that I've seen for years, is there's also police privilege.
Okay.
That's
okay.
good. That's good.
Okay?
I heard that.
I mean, let's just make it real. The deal in Dallas. Guy gets shot eating a bowl of ice cream in his own apartment. The officer's white. She gets 10 years.
Thank you.
Black man would have got 20 to life.
Yeah.
You're right. That's true.
And look, I come from law enforcement, and I hate that this is the way it is, but there is a police privilege that must stop.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's good. I hadn't heard
It
it
must.
like that.
It must stop.
Yeah.
This nonsense of, I feared for my life, so I did this, or I did that, or this or that. All these catchphrases that lets them get away with things.
Wow.
That must stop
Thank you.
immediately.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, it's run rampant. Yeah, I already got things I'm saying on Facebook and pastors I'm calling and whatever, because this stuff has to come to an end. The second thing is, as a whole, the body of Christ has remained silent for too long
Yes.
Good point.
on this issue. Other issues as well, but on this issue.
Yes.
And this is why this mess has run rampant in our country that I know of for 30 years. Now, that's just for me, 30. I know it's been longer than that. But leaders and pastors must speak out. They must, in love, teach their congregation. Okay, look, this is what we got to do. We, just like Pastor Foy did with us yesterday, we are not going to violate the command of love, no matter what. We've got to be taught that. The congregants have to be taught that. But it's time for pastors and leaders to speak out, not violently, still in love. But look, you're not going to do this. It's time for them to speak out and to put demands on police chiefs, on police departments, on mayors, on district attorneys, on you name it. And until that is done, we're not going to see a change.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's become so entrenched, and you know, working in the world, I hear the things and I see the things that people say. People are looking to the church for the answer.
Okay.
And they keep not getting it. And they keep getting shot down. And they keep, okay, would somebody just, look, I've been in a position where because I made a stance, I got fired.
Right.
It's time for men to stand up.
We were just talking about that, Kim.
They got to. Look, I get it. You know, you're afraid. You're a cop. If I say something, okay, you know, they're going to fire me. Worse than that, somebody alluded to it earlier. I know. I saw it happen when I used to be in law enforcement, trying to get someone to assist another officer, and they don't want to go. Because they feel that officer ratted somebody out or did whatever, and really all they did was, hey, this isn't right, and I'm holding you accountable to this. And then, you know, it goes up the chain, and what are you doing, and all this. So, nobody wants to lose their job. Nobody wants to get fired. Nobody wants what?
Nobody wants to speak out either.
But that's the problem.
Right.
Nobody wants to stand up for what's right and just say, hey, no, this isn't right.
Yeah. And see, that's the difference in the military and the police.
Yeah.
See, I get the camaraderie, watching each other's back. I get that. But in the military, and it's supposed to be that way in the police, with police as well, the mission comes before your brother.
That's exactly right.
The mission is always primary. So what they're doing, they're forgetting about the mission. See, the oath that you swear, when you're in the military, that oath, and police officers, you're sworn to protect and serve. That the mission is before protecting your brother. That comes after. But it's the mission.
Yes.
So they're laying the mission aside to protect their brothers.
Yes.
And that's where the problem comes in at.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's gone on for so long. Just like we were talking about Officer Chauvin. He'd gotten away with it. He'd gotten away with things over and over and over and over. And it builds pride. And I'm not talking about pride. I'm not talking about pride like, oh, I'm proud of my son. I'm talking the wrong kind of pride where you think you're above the law.
Come on.
You think you can do whatever you want to do.
Right.
It's a good thing I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Because I would not have been quiet.
Yeah.
I could not have been quiet. Now, I probably would have got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably would have.
Because I'd have been ugly. I mean, because I know better. I know that's not what's supposed to happen. And when I first was sent, not the video, but a picture, the first thing I saw was his eyes.
Yes.
And I said, that man is full of pride
and
arrogance.
Yes.
Just the look in his eyes.
Yes.
Now, I can talk because I've had officers that tried to pull that with me, that I was in charge of the situation. Well, it lasted about 2 or 3 times. And they ended up getting severely disciplined. And after they got their discipline, it was, you got anything you need me to do? But I had to get firm with them. I'd say, no, I'm in charge here, and I'm telling you, you will do X, Y, Z. Right. In this particular situation. It wasn't a situation where there was time for debate and this and that. People's lives were at stake. We had gotten a call to handle something, and I got some knucklehead that doesn't want to go to the call.
Wow.
Well, it doesn't work that way. Then he wants to challenge my authority when he knew I was in charge. And I let that happen about 3 times, and then I said, "No, that's." After I told him, "What do you think you're doing?" You know, and then I took it up the chain.
You know, that's a good point you made. When the young lady, I'm not sure who was recording, it was almost like he felt like she was challenging his authority.
Yeah.
Because she kept asking him to. I think she
Right.
said she was a medical personnel.
Yeah. Yes,
she
allow him
was.
to breathe or something.
Yeah.
And he wanted to let her know you won't. Because I saw his eyes. So I'm like,
Yeah.
is he for real?
Yeah.
And then he went the tension here, and he just wanted to let her know, I'm not moving. I don't care what you say.
Yeah.
And she was like, he can't breathe. Move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's interesting that he probably felt like she was challenging his authority.
Well, yes,
But that's what it looked like.
Yeah, yes, but also just when a police officer gets that proud and that
That's
arrogant,
dangerous to me.
gets to that point that he had gotten to. I mean, 18 prior strikes against him. Why is he even on the street?
Thank
Exactly.
you.
Yeah, that's
the
good.
question.
Okay.
Both of them, the other
If I'd have been in that department, he wouldn't be on the
Yeah,
street.
what happened to the chief of police? Like, he didn't know this. Like, he doesn't have a
No,
supervisor
he knows.
that he. Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. You got to know your
Yeah.
children.
He-
know.
But see, this is part of the problem. The police unions and police federations.
Yes.
There is a chief told me this one time in a particular meeting. He said there's a protocol
Okay.
that
Right.
they have to go through to even discipline an officer.
Yeah.
And this is why these officers get off because of these police unions and police federations. That is what has to be changed.
Yes.
That somebody has to go in and really get rid of the unions the way that they are
That's
formed,
good.
the
That's
federations,
Yep.
the way that they
Yep.
are formed now,
Yep.
because they now basically kind of tell everybody what they can do and cannot do where these police officers
That's
are
right.
concerned. And a lot of people don't understand this is why they're able to get off like they are because of these unions and federations that actually are telling the mayors and the DAs
Yep.
what they can and cannot do.
That's
All of that
crazy.
has to
be
change.
changed.
Yeah.
It has to change because
Yeah.
I think he
All
did
of
say
it.
that someone from the union did say. Well, I'm just reading. I didn't hear him. He did say he would see to it that he either got off or
Yeah.
his punishment wasn't as hard.
The
Somebody
president of
from
the
the
union.
union said
Yes.
that. I was like, what?
Yeah, the president of the police union.
Yeah.
He was the
That's what he
president. I read it
Okay,
too.
you read it too. Okay,
Uh-huh.
yeah. He said he was make sure he got on.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I know our time is getting to the point. Did you all have a question or comment?
Come on, Carlos.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
I've known him for
Okay,
20
before
years.
we get ready to
Carlos?
go,
No,
Puffs, I want to hear what Carlos have to say.
Well, I was sitting back there and I was trying not to say nothing.
Come on, Carlos.
I know it's hard.
It's hard. Just a couple of things, as far as to white people that's helping us and all the other races that's helping us. We appreciate y'all
Yes.
because we can't do it without y'all.
That's
Yes,
a fact.
thank you. That's good.
and for the
Carlos.
white people that don't understand, we're not asking y'all to save us. We're not asking that.
Oh, that's good, Carlos.
We're asking it for y'all to look at a man that's dying and say that's a human being and that's wrong.
That's
Yes,
good, Carlos.
That's what we asking for. You know, if you see another human being that needs help, that's what we asking for.
Yes.
Not asking y'all to come save us. And another thing, since this is a Christian-based talk show and we have 2 pastors on the stage, I believe in the Bible in James, it says for him to know good and don't do it, it's a sin, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like you can miss me with that good cop stuff. If he don't do good,
It's
then he
sin.
ain't good.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good, Carlos.
We see that way with other stuff.
Right.
Everybody says, well, if he was a racist before, he's always a racist.
That's true.
So if you're a good cop and you don't do nothing, then you're not a good cop, are you?
Yeah.
That's right.
No,
You
that's
stand.
good, Carlos.
That's right.
But for the good cops, we do appreciate y'all.
Yes.
Right.
I don't want to condemn y'all or nothing like that. I'm just
right,
saying,
exactly. They are
like if
good
you know
cops.
good and you don't do it, it's a sin.
Yes.
Sin,
You know,
that's
so, but I do want to say, hey, we appreciate y'all. You know,
Yes.
we appreciate people that's speaking out and everybody's that's working and coordinating protests, peaceful protests. We thank y'all because without that, we wouldn't be able to be where we are right
Absolutely.
now.
That's
Absolutely.
yeah.
And
That's good.
the main thing that you've always brought up since you sat on the stage is the laws need to change.
Yes.
And the only way they'll change is what we're doing right now.
Yes, sir.
So
Got to stand
Yes,
for
sir.
That's
something.
good,
or you'll
Carlos.
fall for
That's
anything.
good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate
good.
that.
Yes. Yes.
So, our time is out, and I know this is a subject that we can keep talking about, but it needs to be talked about.
I think someone
Yeah.
else.
Co-host, why you at the, now she's a co-host up here.
I
Why
know.
are you
I got
there?
so hot up on the stage. I apologize. Please accept my apology. But I think everything that was said tonight was good.
Yes, ma'am.
And sometimes we talk and we talk and we talk. But there's a way that you can kind of end it. No, not kind of. You can end this. Because I know in 1964, my parents could not vote. My grandmother could not vote. She had to write stuff down, And then when she came to the poll, they would kick her out because she was black. So I'm saying the protest is good. That's excellent because you're making people aware. But the best way to make people aware is to VOTE.
That's right. Vote.
Vote.
Yes,
People
ma'am.
say voting don't do any good, but
Yes,
that's
it
not
does.
true. You have to vote. Your voices are being heard if you vote. Now, when you don't vote and you sit and say this and that, don't come and tell me because I'm going to ask you, well, did you vote?
That's
and if
right.
you tell me no, I'm saying, well, you don't need to be in my space
Yeah.
because only way you can be heard and people can be heard is you vote. Do you realize how many black people died behind voting
Come on.
registration? Look at Martin Luther King. Merritt Everett. I mean, we just need to stop and think. The protest is excellent.
Right.
Because it's getting noticed.
Yes, it
but
is.
you need to vote
Something
in
on
order to
paper.
have your voice heard. And believe me, if you vote and you become the winner, even if you not win, at least you came
You did
in
your
and
part.
voted
You did your
and
part.
helped the United States of America. Because I'm tired of people saying that we are a laughing stock.
We're not. They're just haters.
Now they saying that, but you get tired of hearing that about what it once was and all that. So vote so that what it once was can become another good year.
Yes.
Vote.
Yeah. Very good.
That's coming from our co-host
Host.
over there. They
Bam.
get hot. She done got hot
She done
up
got
in here.
hot.
All right, we're running out of time, but we went a little bit over tonight because we wanted everybody to voice their opinion on this here protest. And protests are good. As long as you're doing them peaceful, your voice can be heard. And you do need to vote. And we do have shows on voting. So we just wanted to take the time out tonight on Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma to talk about this and get our voice out there. Because everybody can't go out and protest, but we can do something to say something about what's going on. And there is a change that needs to be made. Thank you, Pastor. What would
You're
you
welcome.
say before we close?
A quote from Nelson Mandela. Fools multiply when wise men are silent.
We got to have him to come back and preach that one.
Oh, yeah.
I like that. Say it
He
again.
was ready.
Fools multiply when wise men are silent.
See?
He was ready to say
and
that.
I just read that the other day too in the Bible. It talks about that. How we about the we'll get that on another stuff about the fool. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. You have anything to say before we close?
Because he was shy at first, wasn't he?
Thank you for being on the show tonight. Thank you all, the audience, for your comments. May God bless you. Remember to tune in every Monday, 8 p.m. the Talk of Life Talk Show with Elma. Facebook, YouTube. If you would love to be on the show, check me out at elmatalkshow.com, and we will love to hear your voice on our show. May God bless you. Thank God for all the protesters out there. You all be safe. Remember to vote, and then know who you voting for.
Yes.
Don't just go out and vote all Democrat, whatever. Know who you are voting for.
Yes.
Read up on them and research them.
Yes.
And then vote. Because sometimes we just vote for the people don't even know. Come
on.
Right.
You know, we just say, oh, they're Democrat, oh, they're Republican.
Yeah.
But you need to read who those people are.
That's right.
Okay? And what was that French word you said? Come on.
Comment allez-vous?
All right. We're going to end it with, come on, allez-vous. May God bless you. Thank you all for being on our show. Love you. Sign off.
That was